coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
Welcome back to Wilso's Reviews, and today I'm going to review Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, a film made by Zack Snyder. It was released by Warner Brothers, and it stars Henry Cavill as Superman, Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and Jeremy Irons as Alfred. There's many other people who I don't give credit to for this film, so I apologize. So let's get into it. Now, this review, guys, Batman vs Superman. Bam. There it is. Now, this film, I watched both the theatrical version and the Ultimate Edition. The difference is, the Ultimate Edition has 40 minutes more of footage, which makes some of the plot make more sense. So if you're going to watch this film, I recommend picking up the Ultimate Edition, because there'll be plot points where you think, if you're a huge fan of Superman, it might annoy you in the theatrical version, so I recommend picking up. Now let's get into it. Batman vs Superman, what is the story about? Ultimately, it takes you from the events after Man of Steel, sorry, and it focuses on Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, having to live with the chaos of that and his Wayne Tower being destroyed by Zod and Superman, and it just makes him more angry about this alien coming to our planet and, you know, not really abiding by the law, and which it builds him to find this green rock he's been hearing about to harness to make weapons to fight Superman. Superman, on the other hand, is focusing on his life with Lois, but his negative press with the world is affecting him. Even though he does a lot of good, he shows you he's out there trying to make the world better, but he's ultimately still getting all this negative press from, like, just the senators and just from the world in general. Basically, if you want me to tease the whole story, I could, but I won't do that. If you're interested to watch this film, just go watch it once. You won't regret it. It's a good enough film to just watch once. Now, what did I think of the film? I did like it, but I also hated it, because there was a lot of things that I was expecting to happen that didn't happen. And there was just too many storylines to focus on in this one whole movie that I was kind of disappointed with. Now, for example, I'm going to talk about a bit about spoilers, so if you don't really want to watch spoilers, I'll just give you a quick lowdown on the review that the movie is good enough with the CGI, with the acting, with the music. Other than Jesse Eisenberg acting, I probably wouldn't care about that. If you could just tolerate that for one viewing, it'd be fine. He's not a really good Lex Luthor. That's just my opinion on that. And I don't really like the Doomsday character in the end either. But ultimately, spoiler alert for the next bit, guys. Just little bits and pieces of the story just affect this movie as well. It tries to be too many things. It tries to be Batman vs Superman. It tries to be teasing the Justice League. It tries to be the death of Superman, which is a Doomsday versus Superman storyline. It tries to be Injustice, and it teases the Flashpoint paradox as well. So there are 5 different story elements to this. There's a lot more to it as well. It's just trying to cram this all into one story, and then, but each of those ideas are separate stories. Like, Doomsday and Superman are one whole story. It's one whole movie you could have just done. Batman vs Superman was basically inspired from The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 animated film. That was one whole story. So when you're trying to cram all these ideas and all these stories together, these ideas just become mixed up, and you don't know where the plot's going. You don't know where the story is trying to go. You ultimately wanted to go in just one direction, but it's going off in several directions, so you don't know what to think about it. And then at that time, it's trying to tease the Justice League as well, which is just silly. They shouldn't have to do that. Like, one scene at the end of the movie is fine. They could have done it after credit scenes, and that would have been just as fine. But other than that, guys, that is just one major reason why I was disappointed with this film. This film just doesn't hold up to it itself. The fight scene with Batman vs Superman is really good. I'll give it that. The music is really awesome as well, along with the CGI. The scores are all awesome as well. The Batman, Ben Affleck, is an excellent actor. He was perfect choice for Batman as a comic book choice for Batman. I've really enjoyed that they picked him, and I'm glad that they went with him. Henry Cavill does good as well, but I feel like he gets a little bit less screen time compared with Lois Lane, Amy Adams' character, and I just felt like that could have been better to have him use those scenes to make him build up the Superman character, but unfortunately that just doesn't happen. What else do I talk about Batman vs Superman? The story is okay, but there are so many just reasons why I don't like the story, because basically they tease Lex Luthor being the main villain, and they like, oh, he has this big plan to, you know, get to Superman, but really his plan just forms together. He meets with one senator and he gets 2 of the 3 things he wants in one go without even offering the senator anything useful. He offers him a jelly ranch, and then he gets like Zod's body plus the Zod spaceship. Yeah, the only other thing he didn't get was the kryptonite rock, which the other female senator from Kentucky blocks because she doesn't believe that he needs to create weapons to fight Superman. So it really doesn't explore the reasons and motivations for Lex Luthor's reason to hate Superman. It just focuses on Jesse Eisenberg just being zany, out there, and energetic. So it's kind of out of character for Lex Luthor, and you're kind of getting confused with the Joker or the Riddler character. That might not piss a lot of people off, but it pisses me off because I know who the Lex Luthor character is, and I know what to expect from a Lex Luthor character. So I felt like he bombed as that part in Lex Luthor. The other character I didn't like was Doomsday. This guy is supposed to be the man who killed Superman. Not only beat the shit out of him, but he killed him. Because that is such a big comic book story and storyline to go with, that unfortunately what we get is just not what we wanted. I felt like if you had anything to do with this film, that if you're going to put Doomsday in this film, that Doomsday and Superman needed their own film. Not mixed in with Batman, not mixed in with the Justice League, not mixed with anything else. Just them two. Because they're such important characters in Superman's universe. And unfortunately, it's just not that good. Like, the fight scenes are all fun and cool and all that, and it is ultimately cool to watch Superman take on Doomsday, but it doesn't feel genuine because I've seen a really good Doomsday versus Superman fight, and that was an animated film. They could have figured out another supervillain for Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman to fight. They didn't need Doomsday. I think what they did was they just wasted Doomsday. Another big thing that they wasted was the death of Superman. They kill Superman off in the film, and the character of Superman isn't well deserved to feel sorry for him to die, because we've only seen him in one movie. Other than this movie, he's only had one other movie. So how am I supposed to feel sad for Superman when he's made the sacrifice to kill himself in the second movie? They could have used this opportunity just to have them get a victory up on the bad guys, and then just like, yep, cool. And then save that scene for another time, because we ultimately needed that in a separate film. In this film, it just feels out of place. Unfortunately, Superman's death was impactful for some people, but for me, I felt like they could have saved that. In the end, after they did the big thing of killing Superman off, they still take it back and they say, ooh, but he might be alive in the next film. Which is so annoying, because ultimately, if you're going to kill a main character off, why not not tease it and then leave it for the next film to keep you guessing whether he's alive or he's not alive, and just, you know, maybe. I could go on forever, guys, about Batman vs Superman, because it was a film that meant a lot to me, because I've always wanted to see this on a live action film. I was super excited when they first announced it. I just wanted to see it, but now that I've seen it, I'm kind of disappointed that that's where they went. And I wish that they tried to do better with it instead of just putting it out there just to make a shitload of money. They put so much promotion into this film that ultimately it didn't even do that well because it had so many problems with it. So I'm going to give Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice a 6 out of 10. It is a good enough film. The uncut version is a lot better because it explains a lot of plot points better. Gal Gadot is good in this film as Wonder Woman. You will enjoy her. She only gets small time, that's why I didn't talk about her as much. She only gets a small amount of time, but her last scene with Batman and Superman fighting Doomsday is excellent. The music is good, the CGI is good, the action is awesome. So if you're after an action-packed superhero film, this is probably a good one to miss it. But if you want to see Batman fight Superman, it is a film. You'll get your money's worth. It just takes a little while to get to the film and to get to the actual point of them actually having a fight, which is, yeah, that's about it. And if you can endure Jesse Eisenberg's acting to seeing Batman's origin story for the 1 millionth time being told. But yeah, that's just my opinion though, guys, as a Batman fan. Thank you again for tuning in to Wilso's Reviews. I hope you enjoyed this review of Batman vs. Superman. If you did, hit a like on the video. If you want to see more content from me, subscribe for more as I produce videos every week. If you have any ideas for future film reviews, hit them in the comment section below. If you also want to give me more ideas, I have a Facebook page at Wilso Reviews, and you can message me there. Thank you again, guys, for watching this review. Stay tuned for my video of how I would do Batman vs. Superman coming up next. See you guys. Thanks. Bye.